The terms sports car and fuel economy go together like a nun and lingerie. The two things just don't work together. However, is that always the case? See, this is my 25-year-old 225 horsepower Audi TT Quattro, and despite having all that power, Audi still claims it will get 40 miles per gallon on a long run. But can it really be done, or are those figures just made up? Despite it only being the 1.8 litre engine, because it is the full-fat 225 horsepower model, it has an absolutely massive Garrett turbocharger, which does mean, for me at least, the trip computer inside tells me round town I'm happy to see 20 miles per gallon. Even on a long run, 25, 30, that puts a smile on my face. But today I'm going to be really pushing the limits of this car. So, to test the car's fuel economy, we're going to be going on a bit of a road trip. Around about 150 miles, nothing too major, just across the UK, coming back the next day. But unlike all the other fuel challenges I've done before, where I do 45 miles an hour behind a lorry in a diesel Polo covered in blue tape, I'm just going to be driving normally. No silly tape on my car, no silly rear wheel arches to make it more streamlined, just normal driving. Yes, I'll probably do 58 miles an hour behind a lorry, but if I can get 40 mpg from this, 40, I will be very happy. Because paired with a 63 litre fuel tank, 40 mpg will make this car an absolute beast to cross the country. Anyway, let's go fill this bad boy up, see if we can actually break the mpg barrier that Audi's set. Alright, the car is absolutely brimmed. I'll be honest, I didn't think I was going to make it to the petrol station, because as I got in the car this morning, it spluttered. So I put in 61 litres out of the 63 litre fuel tank, which cost me £87 and 21p. £87. I mean, yes, I put V-Power in, but £87 for fuel. God, why did I buy this and sell the Polo? Anyway, we've got about 2 hours of driving to do, so I've reset all my trips. So let's turn on this car and get about 40 miles per gallon. Into third at 15 miles an hour. That's how you drive fuel efficiently. Oh, come on, traffic, let me go, please. I've not got the fuel to be sitting around. Come on! Come on, TT, do me proud, girl. See, to add on to the challenge as well, it is 22 degrees, which, I mean, for England, for me, that is boiling hot. So, trying to save fuel, we cannot use the aircon, which isn't really a massive problem, because the aircon doesn't work, so it's not an issue. But the bigger issue is these bastards. Because it uses so much fuel to have windows down in the car, even more than aircon does, we can't have them down. So I'm going to be driving 2 hours in this weather in June with my windows up in a dark green car. Oh, I'm actually going to die today. Thank you all for watching. Oh, finally a dual carriageway. Into the left lane, fourth, fifth, and of course, what I now have compared to my Polo, 6th gear. This thing's going to get 1,000,000 miles per gallon. There's a lorry ahead of me. Oh, it's going well, boys and girls. It's going well. See, below 2,000 RPM, MPG doesn't seem to be that bad. The live readout's giving me good numbers. However, the second I'm above 2,000 RPM, I hear the turbo start to spool, and then instantly 4 MPG. Oh, I'm going to have to drive like a proper old lady, because right now I'm doing 50 miles an hour in 6th, and I'm still at 2,000 RPM. It's not good enough, TT. It's not good enough. To tell you a little bit more about the car though, especially if you are new to the channel, this is my daily driver. It's a 2000 Audi TT 225 Quattro. It's the full fat model if you ignore the V6 and the Quattro Sport. So, as I mentioned, 225 brake horsepower, and that's delivered to all 4 wheels. Yes, it's a Howdeck system, which means it's very clever, very fancy, and of course, very costly when it all goes wrong. But Being a Audi means right now sitting at 55 miles an hour, it's doing great things for fuel economy because it's not actually sending power to all four wheels. It's just in front wheel drive mode basically, with 90 or so percent of the power going to those front wheels. MPG is much better. Now, to tell you why that's better, I'm not the person to ask. I mean, drag, I don't know, rolling resistance, something along those lines. I'm sure there's some sort of reason out there, but I know something like a Subaru WRX, when it's 50-50 all the time four-wheel drive, it does mean MPG's nowhere near as good, because it's sending all power to all four wheels, probably putting the drivetrain through so much stress that it doesn't know what to do and gets you 12 MPG. So the TT has potential, it does. It's just whether the car can pull it out today. It's done 174,000 miles. 174. That's a lot of mileage for an old car with a 1.8 litre engine. But I've got a milkshake, I've got some chocolate bars, I've got my lightest pair of Air Max on, which I've worn in both my other MPG videos, and hey, that Volkswagen Polo, yes, it was a 1.9 TDI, but in my triple white TNs, I got 94 miles per gallon for that thing. So if this car's going to get good fuel economy, it's going to be today. Get cozy, put some tunes on, see what we can get on the way there, and of course, I've got to drive it all the way home tomorrow and spend even more money to fill the thing up. God, why do I do this? Alright, another 15 or so miles down, and I have awesome news. See, according to my little live speedo reader, I'm sitting at 83 kilometers an hour, so about 50-ish a bit, sitting behind an absolutely stunning Enterprise lorry. Now, the reason I say absolutely stunning is because this lorry has gave me all of the MPG in the world. 42 miles per gallon, a range of 560. I've never seen the range start with a 5. You love to see it. I know it probably doesn't really come across on camera, but it's hard to say just how stressful it is inside the car when you're doing these challenges. I mean, I'm sitting at a quite happy 42 MPG behind a lorry. I'm happy with that if I can finish the trip with that. But knowing I've got hills to do, I've got back roads to go on, I've got so many contingencies that are going to get in the way of me, that could drop to 35 MPG by tomorrow. How reliable is that gauge? I don't know. I mean, when I did it in my Polo, I got 94 MPG when I went pump to pump, filling up to 1 click. But the screen told me 70. 24 MPG out. There's no way this car's getting 60 miles per gallon. If that's even slightly accurate, I'll be very impressed, but I have a feeling Audi is one of those German bastards that are going to say, oh yeah, we'll take a Volkswagen system and make it even better. See, if I just bought an Alfa Romeo or something a bit spicy, it would have told me I was getting 1000 MPG, even though the engine wasn't even in the car. Now, another thing with these stupid MPG videos is, I use my phone to record, which means I can't just Bluetooth and play my own songs. However, that's not a massive issue in this car. See, back in my Polo, I just had to listen to the radio. I had no CD player, no nothing. This, yes, it has a CD player, doesn't work, but that's not relevant to me because I've got a tape deck. Now, if you can't tell by the clothes I wear day to day, old shit stuff from the 90s, lots of Stussy, always in Air Max, I am absolutely mad about all the 90s culture. So day to day with my AirPods in, I'll either be listening to 90s rap, hip hop, Big L, Eminem, Dr. Dre, so on and so forth, or 90s drum and bass. And because this car has a tape deck, I've got all of a 90s drum and bass a man could desire. I mean, to anyone who's below 35 years old, this means absolutely nothing to you. Accelerated Culture Tape Pack. To me, that is heaven on earth. I mean, to 99% of the people watching, if you are under 35 years old, you will have no idea what Groove Rider and Shabba D means. However, if I just turn on my Bose stereo, but as long as that MPG number keeps rising, because 42.6, I'm plenty happy with that. Anyway, let me get cozy, deal with this absolutely horrible heat and get to where I'm going. We're nearly there, another 5 miles, and we can finally park up and call it a day. Now, what I haven't mentioned, which was a massive part of my first MPG video, was the tyres and wheels I'm using. Now, in my Polo, everyone said, oh, use really thin, drag car-efficient tyres, which will get a million spongle-wongle MPGs. Well, yeah, but I ain't got the money just to splash on some tyres. What I have done is, when I recently bought some new tyres for the TT, I bought the most fuel-efficient ones, Bridgestone Potenzas. Not only are they incredibly grippy, but a fuel rating of green, A star, all the good positive signs you want to see when buying some tyres. No road noise, absolutely lovely. Why is every single Volkswagen Transporter modified? Like, seriously, if you see a T5, a T6, whatever they're called these days, caravels, the whole lot, they are always absolutely decked out with stickers that say Dub Club, low and slow. They've always got aftermarket rims and digital halo LED headlights. They are always so modified. I don't get it. What's the obsession with modifying your T5 Transporter? I know, I'm a part of a whole Volkswagen type thing. I like my Volkswagens. Literally, I've owned 4 cars, 3 of them being old shit Volkswagens, and now one which is effectively a VW and a frog. But I just don't get the whole van aesthetic. Caddies, transporters, caravels, so on and so forth. They are always so modified. Seriously, next time you go for a drive, see if you can see a standard one. I genuinely cannot recall seeing a standard transporter that's not at a Volkswagen dealership.
And after a rant about Volkswagen transporters, I finally made it to where I was staying overnight.
Alright, 80 miles done, 43 MPG on the dials, and still a 500-mile range left. So the old TT is doing pretty well. I'll be honest, from a drive around this place, what can I say? It's a glorified campsite. It's like Butlins on a bigger budget. The fact is, this car got 43 MPG. 43. That's more than Audi even claims. And I reckon I can push it even harder. I could put tape on the car, but that's cheating. I'm getting a real world MPG. So I think if I can shift a big turd tonight, lighten myself up, lighten my car a bit, tomorrow I'm aiming for 45 miles per gallon. 45. I mean, we'll find out. I'll fill up the car fuel tomorrow, do some mathematics, and get an accurate answer to what an Audi TT 225 can actually get. And in general, what old sports cars can actually get. Are they economical? See you tomorrow.
So, with morning rolling around, I packed up my car, realised that the MPG screen had already gone down, and started a long journey back home to see if I could actually not just break 40 MPG, but get even more.
Good morning, boys and girls. You join me on day 2 of the return trip. MPG is not looking good. 42.1. Just leaving the campsite, I lost almost an entire mile per gallon. To add on top of the bad news, it is incredibly hot, 22 degrees. And yes, I am in a jumper and jeans. I don't know what I'm thinking because I've got no real fans. I've got slight cold air, but it's 20 degrees outside, so it's not really picking up cold air. It's just lukewarm air being blown at my face, which doesn't help. However, there is some good news. There is some light at the end of the tunnel. I managed to get the CD player working. I've had the car like, what, 5-6 months now, and I've not had a CD player this entire time. And I have CDs to use. They've just been sitting there. So finally, I'm using my CDs. I'm driving down the road listening to Eminem Encore. What more can a man want? What is up with all these Chinese cars? I mean, I'm currently following a BYD Seal 3.8S? I know it's not 3.8 because it's electric. I just don't understand where they've all come from. Literally, you drive down the road, you see brands you've never ever heard of. Jack, JAC, Jesu, Amoda. Where do all these cars come from? I don't understand. And who's buying them? Because seriously, the amount of BYDs I've seen is ridiculous. I've seen more BYDs than Volkswagen Golfs. I know to the average consumer, there's not a huge amount of brand snobbery. They'll just buy whatever has the most spec for the least amount of money that still has a 2025 registration plate. But I mean, what's this? A J2. Like, where do you get that service? Where do you go when that goes wrong? In 5 years' time, is that still going to work? Is that going to be reliable? There's no testing. I don't understand the person who buys that. Because it's still got to be, what, 20, 30 grand for a brand new car? No matter how cheap the Chinese engine is, it has to be a good amount of money. And for 20 or 30 grand, you could buy like a 2 or 3 year old Volkswagen Golf, which will be way, way nicer, better quality, more reliable, have way more service, way more of an infrastructure to actually survive on. So who is going out there saying, yes, I would like to buy the BYD Seal, please? I mean, my big problem with modern cars isn't even electric, because I can understand owning an electric car if it makes sense to you. You know, living in a place with proper charging, if you're just going around cities, doing stuff like that. My big problem is all these random crossover, bland, boring cars which look the exact same. All these cars like an Moda, which could be sold by any single manufacturer, and I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Bland, boring cars, crossovers. Just people who have no interest in cars whatsoever. Like this Peugeot, this Kia, this Seat, this Seat. A Mini, I like a Mini. A Mini's at least characterful. Have a bit of fun when you're buying a car. Don't go buy a Nissan Juke. Because, I mean, electric cars, there's some pretty cool funky ones. The little Mini Cooper S electric, the Honda E. You can plug a HDMI into a Honda E. I can drive down the road playing Gran Turismo in my Honda. Or one of my favourites at the moment, the new Renault 5. I mean, it doesn't make sense for someone like me who does decent amount of miles, doesn't have any charging points, wants to have a nice, fun manual car. But if I lived in a city, if I just needed something to get me from point A to point B with still a bit more fun than a Kia Niro hybrid, why would you not go and buy a Renault 5? They're cool, they're fun, they're quirky, they look nice. I just don't understand the modern consumer. It does not make sense to me. But then again, though, those are the cars that are selling. I'm not exactly the target demographic for a brand new car manufacturer. I buy old shitboxes, which I think are quite cool. Anyway, more miles under my belt. $123 miles down, and unfortunately the last about 25 of it has been on back roads, which means the fuel economy's gone to shit. We are looking at average 41.5, and it was at 43 yesterday. I mean, a range, I've still got 385 miles left, so like 500 miles to a tank for £87. You know that Polo I used to have, that 1.9 TDI? Yeah, on a full tank that could get like 800 miles if I tried. This is fast, it's quite cool, it's green. This car's green, that Polo wasn't. I could have bought an S-Class. Why didn't I buy a V8 S-Class? I could have been doing some skids. 2 miles to go, 2 miles, and we can finally get some fuel. Oh my god, I cannot explain the heat I've suffered from. It is ridiculous. Luckily though, with the help of a lorry, I am now sitting at 42 mpg. It's been at 42 for the last, I don't know, half an hour. It hasn't really changed, so I'm hoping that's accurate and it's not killed itself sort of midway. I've been in 6th gear for literally hours over the last 2 days. The second I get some fuel limits, I'm sending it out of that petrol station at full pelt. She deserves it. You deserve a good ragging now. Oh, come on, not a red light now. Come on. I'm literally a mile away. Please. Oh, there it is. There's a petrol station. Sip, 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 sip. We are final indication into the petrol station. Oh, I'm making that. Oh, we're here. Shell. Come on, sit. I'm staying in neutral. Roll, baby, roll. What are you doing, Renault Quattro? Well, we're at the petrol station. All we have to do now is fill up, but Trip computer, 42 mpg after 161.3 miles. 345 mile range left. Fill it up, see what we get. And we are back home. After 161.3 miles, the TT has made it back. No problems to report, other than, of course, an incredibly tired right leg from going on the throttle pedal. Now, I've got both receipts here, when I filled up the car and the fuel I've just put back in it. So like I mentioned, £87 it cost to fill this thing up, and it still had a bit of fuel left in it. So probably about a £90 full tank. And to bring it back up to the top after 161 miles, it cost me another £27.85, which is 18.31 litres. So if we pull out the trusty iPhone 7, we can do some mathematics here. So distance in miles, 161.3, litres used, 18.31. Calculate. It's not good. So like I mentioned, the trip computer in my car was telling me, oh yes, about 42, 43 mpg. In reality, 40.5 miles per gallon, or litres to kilometres or whatever, 7.05. KPL, whatever KPL is, 14.18 of them. But doing my absolute best day to day with a mixture of back roads, dual carriageways, motorways, and a lot of driving behind lorries, this 225 horsepower TT only managed to get 40 miles per gallon. Why did I swap the Volkswagen Polo for this? Why? That car cost me £7 to do 150 miles. £7. This has just cost me 28. It's fast though. It's four-wheel drive. It's green. I'll see you all in the next one.